Booknotic presents a hypnotic super learning experience inspired by the book The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Now, as you sit back and relax with your eyes closed, I wonder if you can imagine what it would be like to allow yourself to make a complete transformation, to find everything that you seek already within you. And by allowing yourself to change for the better and knowing that this is possible, you start to feel even more relaxed and calm right now, don't you? That's right. Notice how good it feels. Now allow all those good feelings to double your relaxation as it continues to flow throughout your entire body, slowing down your breathing, slowing down your heartbeat, and slowing down the activity in your brain to give you the most peaceful and deeply relaxing sensation right now. And as you breathe in and out, double your relaxation and allow yourself to relax even more now. And now one more time. As you breathe in and out, double your relaxation again, going deeper and deeper into a blissful and euphoric state of mind. Let go of every muscle, every nerve, and every fiber in the body, allowing yourself to drift deeper and deeper, relaxing so much more now. And by doing so, you're entering such a powerful state of mind that allows both your conscious and subconscious mind to learn faster and easier. And it's such a great way to feel. Welcome to the super learning state. Now, any suggestions or content from this book that you hear that you don't resonate with or agree with will be completely ignored by your subconscious mind. Any suggestions you do resonate and agree with will be absorbed safely and effectively by your subconscious mind for your greatest benefit. When you give permission for this, nod your head, please. Every day, you now begin to notice your thoughts as being separate from who you are. You are not your thoughts because they are something you are aware of. Each day, you are more aware of listening to how the mind is talking, knowing that often it's wrong about what it warns you about, and so you get to decide whether you listen to it or not. You know that the best way to free yourself from the non-stop inner chatter is by stepping back and observing it objectively. You now find it easier to just simply notice the voice inside your head without being concerned about whether it's saying something positive or negative. Just consider how many times your inner voice has warned you about things that never eventuated. You now realize that by separating yourself from your inner voice, it allows you to recognize that it is your responsibility to not believe everything it tells you. There is nothing more important to creating real emotional freedom and growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You now easily acknowledge, respect, and appreciate that your mind has developed an ability to talk to you often because it offers a protection mechanism against perceived problems, threats, and stresses. So just stop and consider what type of problems, threats, and stresses your mind is trying to help you solve recently. You now say the following belief to yourself: true personal growth is about knowing that I am already safe and can let go of the habit of thinking that I need protection. And by doing so, you continue to do this easier and more gracefully. Anytime you now notice the inner voice trying to control situations, you immediately stop, taking a deep, relaxing breath, and begin to focus on the part of you that is simply aware of the voice. And by doing so, you connect with the depths of your being. Each day, you remind yourself that to be free of problems, you must free yourself from the part within that has so many problems. Every time the inner voice alerts you to a problem, you immediately consider, Is it really the situation that is disturbing me? Or is it the voice disturbing me about the situation? You now have insight and clarity to know that the biggest problem anyone can face is that we can have a problem with absolutely anything at all. You now find it easy to break the addiction to thinking that you need to take external action to solve a problem, and instead, you recognize that the solution to all problems is an inner consciousness solution. Every day, you find it easy to go within yourself and let go of all the parts of you that have so many problems. You know that you are a true spiritual being who is inwardly aware, the one that watches events, thoughts, and emotions pass by. By often focusing on the source of your own awareness, you are discovering true meditation, and you find it easy to create the deepest form of meditation by focusing on being aware of your awareness. Every experience, thought, or emotion is an expenditure of energy that is drawn from a miraculous source within you. This is distinctly separate from outer energy. It doesn't come from food or sleep. It comes from within the heart and mind. Energy doesn't get old or tired. Instead, what it needs is openness and receptivity. And you are now aware and in control of keeping your heart and mind open to allowing energy to flow through you. Every day, you find it easy to let situations take place and be there with those situations in a relaxed state, knowing that your choice to remain open and in flow with energy is more important than any situation that might try to convince you to close up your heart and mind. You are now more attuned to feeling the benefits of bringing more energy to your system by relaxing and staying open, knowing that energy can heal, love can heal, and you are curious to explore your inner energy even more now. All past experiences that you are affected by or hanging on to are blocked events and energy waiting to pass through you. Sometimes these blocked events dominate the thoughts and feelings in an attempt to try to be processed and passed through. If too many of these events remain blocked and stack up within you, it can prevent you from processing other energy, which can eventually lead to states of depression, anxiety, fear, hurt, and anger. You are now consciously and subconsciously aware that you neither want to avoid or push away energies, nor do you want to cling to energies either. Instead, positive or negative, you now allow all energies to flow through you and have awareness of the full range of experiences. Every day, you remember that there is pure energy circulating inside of you that creates thoughts, emotions, and awareness of all experiences. You now find it easier to step back and observe all the parts inside of you that has a tendency to close down, protect, and defend itself. So instead, you now give yourself the ultimate gift of deciding to stay open and knowing that you are safe anyway. This gives you the soul liberation and freedom to enjoy any experience that comes next. In a moment, you repeat after me in your own voice. I will now simply observe the energy as it flows through me. I will now simply observe the energy as it flows through me. Each day, you find it easier and easier to stop justifying your fears, and instead, you know that it's better to let energy go and flow through you than to block it or to hold on to it. You actively let go of all the ways that past hurt, wounds, injustices, and transgressions could influence your behavior. Your seat of consciousness is the awareness that you have of your own awareness. And every day, you now find it easier to be okay with feeling inner disturbances without them disturbing your calm seat of consciousness. By doing so, you gain more freedom and transcend emotional, mental, and physical problems. You now find ways to let go of all the parts of you that stops you from living your life fully, knowing that death is the greatest teacher of all in life because it puts everything into perspective, and knowing this helps you to become bolder and more open to live a life more fully. You know that the spiritual path that you are on now allows you to let all experiences to pass through you instead of carrying any of that energy into the next moment. You still deal with the situations appropriately, but you also allow the energy to pass through you first, easily and effortlessly. I want you to imagine yourself standing somewhere familiar to you. This place makes you feel safe and ready to explore a deeper sense of peace and tranquility by exploring beyond who you used to think that you were. Whether this is a real or an imagined place, it has an energy and a power to it that can make amazing things happen. And as you see all the things that you see in this moment, hearing the sounds that you hear, you're feeling even more ready for change now. So you look around and you notice a special full-length mirror facing you. This mirror is angled in just the way so that it reflects right back at you. And at the top of the mirror, it's labeled the honesty mirror. You know you can look away if you choose, but you also feel compelled to use the honesty mirror to see yourself from different angles, with an openness to discover the natural truth in who you truly are. The mirror shows you that you are not your fears or doubts. You are not the voice that you hear inside your head. You are not the anger or injustice that can be felt. And you are not the insecurities or anxieties that can be experienced. You are the natural observer, the one who can choose to be separate from the energy of emotions, the energy of thoughts. You can choose to connect the idea that you are the soul that is untethered from trying to avoid things or hang on to things. You are the acceptance of all things with no resistance to any experiences, because all of these are energy and you allow energy to flow through you now. And as you recognize this, a bright colored energy flows out from the mirror, aiming directly into your body, making a sound that excites you and builds more curiosity as you watch what happens. As the bright colored energy flows and absorbs into your body, you remind yourself that all emotions, thoughts, and voices are energy. Let energy flow through. And as you do this, you can see the energy flowing through your entire body, through to the back of you. And from this, you become even more aware of the experiences from an objective perspective. And it's such a peaceful and content way to feel. And as you consider this now, as you see the reflection of yourself in the mirror, you notice that the version of you in the mirror is wearing a jacket. This jacket has a happy and sad face pattern printed all over it, with a badge on the jacket that's labeled as emotions. You can see that the sad faces on the jacket are actually crying and making wet patches in various places, whilst the happy faces are making soft laughing sounds. And so as you watch, the mirrored version of you removes this jacket, no longer accepting ownership over it and letting all the emotions go as it drops to the floor. But you can see that there's another jacket underneath. This jacket has a repeated light bulb pattern all over the jacket, and it's also labeled on the badge as thoughts. You are amazed as each of the light bulbs on the jacket lights up brightly at different times, just like the many luminous thoughts that you have. And again, as you watch the mirror version of you, it removes the jacket and allowing it to drop to the floor, because these thoughts are not you. You can observe them, but they aren't a part of you. And like a jacket, you can easily let it go. And as you look at the mirror of honesty, finally you notice that there's one more jacket being worn by your reflection in the mirror. And this one is even stranger again. It's made up of a pattern of hands sticking out and eyeballs moving around, noses, ears, and even tongues that protrude out from all around the jacket. And in the same way that you can't see the front and the back of a jacket at the same time, you remember that you always only have a limited sensory input from the external world taken in through your senses, which you give meaning to, but you know that this meaning is still limited and subjective. It is not the true reality. It is a subjective reality that you get to influence your experience of. And so you nod your head to the mirrored version of you, giving it permission to take off this jacket and making the commitment to break free from being reactive to the external world perceived through your senses. And as you look back at the mirror, you now see yourself as the light of consciousness, which is the purest light you have ever seen. So you move forward and you merge yourself with the light that is you. And as you become one with this new level of awareness and acceptance and non-resistance, you feel completely different now. Something gets your attention, and so you turn to one side, and you notice that you happen to be holding a big balloon. You didn't even realize it was there until now. The balloon is a dark color, but it's still slightly see-through. And you can see contained within the balloon are many representations of the problems that you feel like you have in your life right now. Just take the time to notice all of your problems that are contained within this balloon right now. And you know that the most powerful way to solve your problems is by letting go of the part of you that seems to have so many problems with the reality that you live in. And as you take a moment to let all of your problems fill up into the balloon more and more, you start to find a deeper awareness and peace. And so you reach out towards the balloon of problems, you untie the balloon, and just before you decide, you hear a loving voice say to you, "Nothing is ever worth closing your heart over for." Nothing is ever worth closing your heart over for. You feel a big smile appear on your face as you look forward to the deeper freedom that comes with letting go of all those personal disturbances and problems. You free the balloon that contains all of those problems and you let it float up and away. And as it does, you feel your heart open up even more now. Now just imagine yourself driving in your car, and next to you is a passenger. This passenger is the inner voice you hear. They are like a passenger riding alongside you as you drive throughout your life. The passenger tries to warn you as it says, "Slow down, look out for that car. Put on your indicator earlier. Make more room between the car in front of you," and so many other worries and concerns, despite the fact that you are already a safe and capable driver. This passenger, the inner voice, has many strengths and uses, but it also has many weaknesses. You are not the inner voice, just like you are not the passenger in the car. Your driving experience is being impacted by this passenger and all the things that it's trying to draw your attention to, even though there is very little risk of these things happening. But now it's time for you to claim back your own harmony, freedom, and growth by separating from this situation and releasing the hold that it has over you and your experiences. And so as you reflect on this, you feel even more receptive to change now. You know that the passenger in the car is only trying to control the situation and predict future problems. So you turn to them and you tell them that everything is okay. You are safe and you are protected. And by doing so, you now have a new, more peaceful space created, that it gives you an opportunity to connect deeper and more powerfully with your own awareness. And so now, as you process and integrate everything that you've just learned at the subconscious level, imagine yourself somewhere in the future facing some of those situations that would have agitated you in the past. But notice now, as you allow all the energy of the emotions, thoughts, and experiences pass through you without judgment, without resistance, and with acceptance. You feel such a deeper sense of peace and freedom from all the personal problems and disturbances because you now choose to be aware of all the mental, emotional, and physical experiences without being controlled by them. And by doing so, you have untethered your soul, knowing that you are the light of consciousness, and it is such a great way to live because anyone can. Congratulations, you've just completed super learning the main principles inspired by The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Now that you've acquired this new knowledge, the next step is to find a way to apply that knowledge in a meaningful way. In a moment, when you open up your eyes, take a few moments to consider what is one action that you could do immediately to implement something that you've learned from this book. Make a committed decision that you'll do this at your next available opportunity, because the only way to embody what we know is through action and application. And that starts with one small step, even if it only takes you 2 minutes to do. So go ahead and make that commitment to yourself now, because you have the ultimate power to create anything that you have the commitment to choose. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And with each number I count, you'll come back to wakeful awareness, feeling wonderful, refreshed, and ready to maintain an untethered soul. 1. Start to notice sensation in your hands and in your feet. 2. Start to notice sounds around you and remembering to let go of any and all problems. 3. Taking a deep, energizing breath, knowing that you are not the inner voice, you are the awareness of the voice. 4. Take a nice big stretch up and out, feeling inspired to give yourself this deeper inner release and freedom. And 5. Open up your eyes, feeling awake, alert, and refreshed, ready to keep your heart open and allowing all energy to flow through you. Welcome back. Finally, we'd love to hear from you about what you think about our content. So feel free to send us an email to support@booknotic.com with Untethered Soul in the subject line, so you can share your feedback with us.